So here we are, the last test of the autumn series. We obviously can only pick our regional players because this is out of the test match window, but Steve Tandy has named pretty much the strongest squad we can. It's quite frustrating as a regional fan that the regions have a full slate of games this weekend and they haven't got their best players. But anyway, let's get into the team. So we got Gareth Thomas, Derry Lake, Kieran Azarati, Ben Carter and Rhys Davies in the second row. James Fender is injured, so he's not available for selection. Then the back row, Tane Plumtree moves to 6, Mann moves back over to 7, and Wainwright is fit and back in at 8. Then in the back line, we've got Kieran Hardy, Dan Edwards, the Ospreys combo. Then in the centre, we've got the Scarlets combo of Joe Hawkins and Joe Roberts. Then the back three, Tom Rogers is unfortunately injured as well with that, I think it's a hamstring. So we've got Rio Dyer, Ellis Mee on the other wing, and Blair Murray at fullback. And then the bench, we've got Brodie Cochland, Danny Southworth, who's going to be earning his first cap, Chris Coleman, James Ratty, Morgan Morse, Ruben Morgan-Williams, Callum Sheedy, and Ben Thomas rounds off the bench. So, as I said, this is basically as strong as Tandy could pick from. This is going to be a tall task no matter when we're playing, even if we had all our players. Of course, South Africa are losing some of theirs as well, but they have a lot more strength and depth than we do. But this isn't a bad team. I'm looking at these, and these are good players. You know, some good players in there who could have been in the reckoning to play in previous games. Gareth Thomas has kind of fallen a little bit from the first choice, given Nicky Smith and now Rhys Carey has come back. But he's got a lot of experience, and he's decent scrummager, and his tackling is excellent. So I don't think he's as best as he was a few years ago, but it's still a very good player to bring in with lots of experience. Ben Carter and Rhys Davies, that's two big guys in the second row. They hopefully will chuck it about. I'm sure Rhys Davies will. And then the back row, I'm a little bit surprised Plumtree has kept his position and they've dropped Deves. I mean, it's kind of like, I'm not really sure what he did in his last performance that warranted him getting selected again, given the fact that you've got Morse and Deves that you could have brought in. If you were hell-bent on playing Mann at 7, you could have put Morse at 6, but I don't know whether he wants just a bit more size because we're playing, obviously, probably the most physical team in World Rugby. That would be my only question. And then the back line, obviously, the Ospreys combo, I'm okay with that. Probably would have gone for Morgan-Williams if it was up to me, just because we know what we've got in Kieran Hardy, don't necessarily know what we've got at international level with Morgan-Williams, who hasn't had as much opportunities as I think he's deserved with his play over the last few years. So I would have liked to have seen him start and see how he deals with that pressure, but by the by, the centres are pretty much what I expected. That's a good balance in there. You've got a proper 12 and a proper 13, which is nice. And then Rio Dyer coming back in, I'm quite chuffed for him. He's had quite a difficult couple of years. He started really well for Wales and then kind of a gradual decline with his form, and not really all his fault. You know, it's difficult playing on the wing for Wales and for the Dragons. You're not getting as much ball as you want. Maybe maybe a little bit guilty of not coming looking for it enough, but I hope we can actually get him some ball. We've shown under this Tandy system or this Sherratt attacking system that we do want to work the ball wide, and we do like to get our wingers on the ball. Rio Dyer is good in the air as well with a kick chase, so maybe that is sort of comes into it as well. I do want to see us try in this game though to carry in a little bit more direct, not just going wide straight away when we get a chance. I wouldn't mind us seeing a few more carries from the centres, which have been pretty much non-existent across the autumn. The back row getting their hands on the ball a little bit more and some tight carries that way. But other than that, Danny Southworth is going to earn his first cap off the bench. Congratulations to him. Well deserved as well. You know, Cardiff signed him 2 years ago and everyone was kind of like, who's this guy? He's going to be a bit of a squad player. And then his role grew and grew last season with good performances. And this season, you could argue he's Cardiff's first choice loose head, so deserving of his spot there. And then we're going to see more of Morgan Morse and Callum Sheedy, his first appearance for Wales since, to my memory, that Georgia game under Pivac that we lost. So good for him, deserves to be back as well, given his form. So that's it. This is the last game of the autumn. Let me know what you think, and I will catch you on the next one.